There was a decision in the Hex case against Richard Hart that the federal district court dismissed, saying they never had personal jurisdiction. I raised that issue on behalf of other people affiliated with that case 2 years ago. Told them that they were going to have serious problems with their case. Represented some people real dirt cheap. It was almost pro bono.
And the jurisdiction in this case is because it's not a security. Like that is the jurisdiction.
Well, that's one aspect, but they didn't even reach that aspect. The court said even if what he was selling was a security, which I disagree with treating all crypto as securities, putting that aside, said he didn't purposely avail himself of any United States jurisdiction. That, in other words, to have personal jurisdiction over you, you've got to do something that directly reaches into that jurisdiction to make it fair for you to be held accountable in that jurisdiction. In other words, what prohibits Russia, say, from saying we hereby indict Robert Barnes for something he did in Tennessee? It's like, unless I purposely availed myself of Russia, Russia has nothing to do with it. It has no authority over me, no personal jurisdiction over me. Our personal jurisdiction laws are the same. If you're not a resident, if you're a resident, there can be general jurisdiction. That means jurisdiction for any case, even if the case doesn't concern things you did in that state, if you are a resident of that state, if you're domiciled there or your business is domiciled there. Richard Hart was not. Richard Hart was a U.S. citizen, but had lived in Finland and elsewhere. So instead, they said, well, he publicly marketed it in ways that was available to Americans. And it's like, hold on a second. By that definition, any global public statement you make is now actionable in the United States. Here he took he didn't have an interactive site.
Yeah.
Clearly, by the way, he had some good legal counsel, how he handled this, right? And the marketing never had any interaction. It was here's the credit card link, here's the link, here's this. None of that. It was, here's this, go research it on your own, go make your own decision. And any action that took place wasn't related to his marketing. And so the judge pointed out, Richard Hart, there's no personal jurisdiction of the U.S. government over Richard Hart concerning because this was a specific jurisdiction case. They said that we have specific jurisdiction over what he did here because he purposely availed himself of New York or other U.S. Jurisdictions for the purposes of this behavior that we're saying was illegal. And he was like, no, I didn't. There were public statements I made to the whole world from Finland, but none of them, I never even interacted directly with anybody from the U.S. for the purchase of any of these things that you want to call securities that I'm disputing are securities. And the federal court, to its credit, agreed. Said there is no personal jurisdiction. So dismissed the case that the government wasted so much money and time on that case. I mean, I represented some people very cheap because they were clearly harassing low-level influencers who were just pushing crypto if they had any tangential connection to Richard Hart or Hex, when many of them had almost no connection to it at all. And the little connection they did was just speech-related activities. They spent millions of dollars on this case. I was like, this is a garbage case.